We're very excited and grateful to have Leah Rifqa Savage with us today. Rifqa is passionate about bringing peace and healing to the world. She's a founder of Complementary Healing for Everyone. As an Oriental Medicine practitioner, she combines mind, body, and spirit medicine together to create deep and lasting health and wellness. Through her work as a minister and pastoral counselor, Rifqa facilitates a deeper knowing of ourselves, our relationship to divinity, creating lasting transformation and peace within. Leading workshops and retreats for her patients and clients, she provides a rich environment for like-minded individuals who aspire to grow and learn together. She has spent many years in event planning and coordinating across the country, as well as hosting several teachers and events locally. She has written about peace and peacemaking, as well as leading a weekly teleclass entitled Becoming Peace. Her teaching today is Unveiling Our Divine Strength. Rifqa, welcome, and thank you for being with us today.
Assalamu alaikum, beloved. Thank you so much for having me again. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so grateful to connect to the hearts of everybody that is joining me both through Zoom as well as on the phone. So welcome. Assalamu alaikum. So I'd like to begin with the opening prayer, the Fatiha, and asking each of us to drop into our hearts. Taking a nice deep breath, feeling our bodies wherever we are in time and space. And for the new people out there, the Fatiha is the opening prayer of the Sufis, and it's designed to ask for our spirits to open even more deeply and our souls to open even more deeply to Allah, to God, to the One. Just inviting that light to open and to go deeper. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman Alhamdulillah Ar-Rahman Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amen. Just inhaling very deeply into our bellies, into our hearts, into our minds, knowing that we are so loved by our Maker, our Creator. And we're always held in the deepest peace, and the angels are always with us. You may feel some tension in your bodies, in your hearts, and that's normal and natural, and just allowing ourselves to be with whatever is moving through us. Any areas of tension or pain or constriction or expansion and love and peace. And I'm going to do the elongation of the name. Well, this is a name that helps to invoke the prophetic light, asking for each of the prophets to join us, their lights, their spirits, their wisdom, their guidance. Lele. 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 Ibrahim Astagfirullahaladzim, Layla, Ahayo Kayuma Tule. Okay, just opening our hearts even more deeply. Allah is the doer, the knower, the peace, the love, the safety. And Allah is the strength. Just bowing to give thanks. Without Allah's help, we wouldn't be able to walk upright or take a breath. Our hearts wouldn't be beating. Our minds wouldn't be following this call. There's so much strength in one single heartbeat. The quality of Aziz is with us in every single moment. And strength lies all around us. We look outside in the spring and we see the potential of the seed in the ground, the life, the light. That amazing seed contains the potential of blooming into a beautiful flower. And imagine the strength it takes from Allah, from our Maker, to push up through the soil. Imagine how that stem utilizes all of its potential energy and rises up, seeking the light. And then as it struggles and as it grows and as it becomes more excited, it bursts through the topsoil. And finally, the little bud opens and feels the light, feels the light of the sun, the light of Allah, filled with the beauty of the inner lights of existence, and housing the potential of the most amazing strength. And that strength of that little seed, that's our potential. Every day, as we surrender to Allah, as we move through the world, as we ask for guidance, as we bow even more deeply, as we face whatever challenges come our way, we become a seed each morning. And as we move through the day, we become stronger and stronger and stronger. And eventually, like the beautiful blossom, we blossom. As we grow from being children to adolescents, to adults, to our older years, we're always filled with that beautiful light and potential of Allah, of strength, carrying us in every single cell through our day. So I'd like to invite the quality of strength to open inside of our hearts, and just know that even when we think that we're forgetting Allah, even when we think we're doing it ourselves, right? How often do we think that? Oh no, I'm doing this myself. even in those moments when we think we're doing it ourselves. Are we really? Are we really, or are we really just forgetting in that moment that Allah is the doer? So I'm going to do some the quality of Aziz, just for a few minutes. And even in the places that we make stories about that kind of come from the prison of our minds, even the places we think are collapsed, are they really collapsed? Or is the law there? And we just aren't realizing it. We're just not looking at it. So settling in, opening into our bases. Asking for our quality of strength to open even more deeply, even more completely and fully to the gnosis that Allah's strength is always with us, always breathing us. And as we surrender our will to Allah, we're able to embody that strength from Allah directly on a much deeper level. And as we remember to turn back to Allah, to surrender our idea of ourself into the unity and the oneness and the peace of Allah, we become the fragrance of Allah. We remember we're the fragrance of Allah. We remember we're the slave of Allah. Ya Allah, Al-Aziz. Inhaling deeply, surrendering our hearts. Ya Allah, Al-Aziz. God loves us so much. Ya Allah, Al-Aziz. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Al-Aziz. Ya Allah, Al-Aziz. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Al-Aziz. Ya Allah, Al-Aziz. Strength can be playful. It doesn't always have to be serious. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Ya Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So, that being said, what really is a deeper level of divine strength, and how do we surrender? So, I'd like to invite each of you to think about settling into your heart and your body and your base or bases. And realizing that even though Allah is with us in every single moment, we're not always aware of our quality of strength. And we have an idea, a perception of the absence of strength, which does become a little bit of the prison of the mind. And so this prison is a place where we do a lot of worrying about what's going to happen next, and the future and the past and the present. It's a place where we try to figure everything out on our own without remembering Allah. It's a place where we beat ourselves up when we don't follow what we think might be the highest, or when we make a mistake. And it's also a place where a very deep disempowerment may arise and stem from. And in our minds, we forget that Allah is holding us. And we have a choice to begin to work with ourself and our mind and our return back to Allah, building that muscle, opening to that strength. And often when we really look deeply in our bodies, we feel a very deep sense of fear that underlies this place. And this fear leads to powerlessness. And it leads us to forget that we can be the sword of Allah if we need it, and that we have protection and power, mutakadir. And power comes from strength and from Allah. And the elixir of fear is Allah's deep love, and holding our hearts and our imperfections and the parts of us that have forgotten Allah in the deepest mercy. So in this place that we can all empathize and feel within us, we start to realize that there may be a room deep inside our hearts, deep inside our bellies. So I'd like to invite you all to turn to this room, to feel inside of our beings for any place that may not be in the highest alignment with God's quality of strength. And in this room lies a perception of the absence of strength. And I'd like us all to just feel into this place with love and mercy and compassion. Inhaling, breathing, knowing that all of us are together here, and all of us have a place inside, deep inside our beings, that has turned away in fear or projection or fantasy or illusion, right? And we're in the idea that I think that I can do this myself. So, this is the place for us to surrender, to bow more deeply, to move the idea of ourself out of the way so that we can let God's strength manifest through us, as us. We can remember that God's strength is inside this place of fear. And so I'd like to invite us to do some to do the tauba, to just feel into our hearts and feel into this room. Feel into the love or the absence of love that's here. And it's okay, you might have an idea of what is causing the fear. There may be something going on in your life right now that you're afraid of, maybe a move or a relationship beginning or ending, or a death, or our own illness, or something work related, whatever it might be, a child. Relaxing our shoulders just a little bit more. Inhaling deeply, relaxing our belly muscles, surrendering to this place where we don't feel strong, and asking for Allah to show us the potential of the seed, our seed. Each one of us has a seed. Each one of us is 1,000% lovable, even in the most darkest places, even in the collapsed places, the abused places, the crushed places. In these places, we are perfect and we are in alignment with Allah, and Allah loves us. Opening our hearts, asking for God's light, Ilal Nur. And the Tawbah, the Astaghfirullah Lazim, to illuminate our hearts, our spirit, our tantians, our bellies, and asking for the Muhammadan light to be with us, surrounding us, uplifting us, in the light of Jesus, in the light of Ibrahim, who broke the idols. Astaghfirullah, 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 A stalk for love. 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 Taking a nice deep breath. Breathing into the open spaces. Divine strength helps us grow deeper, deeper roots, more flowers. When we sit with the quality of strength, we realize that we get knocked around a little bit. We get hit by a situation, we get hit by a person, we become leveled. Allah teaches us humility. We fall flat on our faces. We have things arise that are very, very difficult and painful. And every single time we're faced with a new challenge, and every single time we collapse and fall down, God widens us. God expands us. God broadens our container, and God broadens our containment. And God says, beloved, I love you. I'm teaching you that the only strength you need is directly from me. And God is doing that because God wants to manifest God's potential for us. As when we decide to really deeply desire that place of slavery, and every morning we can wake up and say, oh Allah, help me be humble, help me to just be with you and to just move from you and to just whatever comes my way to be with this situation in grace and love and mercy. When we desire that divine slavery and to be with God in all things, and when we surrender our will to Allah, it's an act of such deep love and trust. We really are turning our hearts and our spirits back to Allah over and over again with the deepest faith. Just acknowledge the courage that each of you have and each of us has to do this repeatedly every time we fall down. It takes so much courage to walk forward, to walk and follow Allah's guidance. And ultimately, it's about manifesting His will for us, our highest destiny. So Allah is bringing us events. Allah is bringing us circumstances and experiences that will appear as a really deep mirror for us to grow and develop more strength and to develop our bigger base. Because Allah is saying, beloved, please establish ourselves even more deeply in the light of me, in the light of Allah. And as we fall down and as we learn hard, hard lessons, we evolve and we grow, and eventually we become stronger. We become more solid with Allah. And then we sometimes walk between the dichotomy of being solid with Allah and then collapsing. And our belly hurts, our shoulders slump and tense. We hold more fear in our power center. Some event or life process comes and pushes us over. And so we lose our foundation of feeling safe for a moment. And we kind of shudder in our being, right? And then we sort of say, okay, I'm lost in this fear. I'm lost in this shuddering. And I'm supposed to do something now. But I can't do anything. So maybe an hour goes by, or maybe we're at work and we're frozen. We had a contentious conversation with someone that makes us feel unhappy. Or we felt some terrible darkness come and hit us, and we felt like we could barely continue. Or we had an argument with someone that we really love. And this is when some time passes before we realize we really need to turn back and to bring this shut down, cold place in our hearts. Compassion. To hold everything with compassion. To invite everything to our dinner table like a long lost friend. Using the quality of Rahim and Hamid, the compassionate and the praiseworthy. And to remember that God is really deeply with us in this place. That God really deeply loves us. And that without that dark, contentious person, or without that illness that is so painful, or without that relationship issue, or whatever it might be, or something really painful, without that, we wouldn't be able to step forward onto the next, into a closer proximity to Allah. And that's where the strength and the kawi, the most strong, can manifest. When Allah really wants us to break through and brings things that are very difficult, Allah is asking us, please, beloved, remember me, remember my name, and remember that love is stronger than hate, than fear, and that strength of love pervades the deepest, darkest, nightmarish situation. And so love is a very deep quality inherent in strength, as is trust, and kawi, the most strong, and forgiveness, and mutakabir. There's so many qualities that make up and allow for the manifestation of our strength with Allah. And so I'd like to use the quality of Wadud. Right now, I'm just kind of coming to my heart a little bit. I'm thinking of Jesus. I'm thinking of Muhammad. I'm thinking of the amazing love that Allah has for all of us, a love that is so strong that it fills every single cell, every nucleus inside our cell with joy. But we have to walk through the pain. We have to walk through the turning away and walk through um, the sadness. That can be a deep walking and a long walking. But on the other end, when the strength blossoms into our hearts and all of these qualities come together, we're going to feel so much joy. Because Allah is joy. God is joy and peace and mercy. So go ahead and drop inside again. And just do a little bit of the quality of Allah, Allah's love. Knowing that each one of us is uniquely and singularly and collectively loved completely in every single fiber of our being in our darkest shadow. We're never alone. We're always loved by Allah in the places that are the most horrific that we've gone through or that the world has gone through. There's only Allah in the light and only Allah in the darkness. Ya Allah, 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 Ya Wadud, Ya Allah, Ya Wadud, Ya Allah, Ya Wadud, Ya Allah, 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 Ya Wadud. Taking a nice deep breath into the place, excavating deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the layers of our hearts and Inside of that layer is where we connect to the light directly of Allah, turning our attention and all of our focus to the joy and the strength and the love and the peace of Allah. Deep in our hearts, aligning with the highest. When I think of strength, when I remember when I'm scared, and then I finally remember to, oh yes, I need to surrender, know that Allah is here, and surrender my quality of strength for myself. I see Mecca, and I see the Kaaba, and I feel the circumambulation around it. And I know that there's such deep beauty and such deep light transmission. And I feel that light, and I feel that connection to heaven. And I say, Allah, please put me in the stream of that connection. Allah, please guide me in my heart, in my spirit, my soul. And please help me feel the light that goes from heaven all the way down into the stone. That Abraham set there in such a holy, sacred place. And I start to feel the expansion. Imagining all of the souls and spirits and individualized lights of Allah that are in unity, circumambulating around the Kaaba. Opening our hearts to expand and encompass all things. And when I think of strength, I think of the stories of the prophets. Of course, I think of Ibrahim and the quality of Al-Haq. I love that story so much. I love when he destroyed the idols, the wooden idols. I loved the message that he brought to the people. And so I'd like to ask us to just set the intention to destroy our idols tonight. Even if it's just one half of one piece of one subconscious idol. Asking Allah to remove an idol from our hearts. Anything that is in the way between us and Allah, between Allah's mercy and love and light and strength, and just the pure gnosis that you're all Allah's beloveds. Inhaling into that place, surrendering into that place, and thinking of Asiya, the wife of the Pharaoh, and how she nurtured.
Go ahead, Rivka. You were on mute there for a sec, but you're unmuted
I
now.
am?
Yep,
Oh,
you're okay.
okay. I'm okay. Sorry.
Yep,
Sorry about that.
nope,
That
that's
was
fine.
unexpected.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay. So let's start for love. Feeling Sia and her spirit. And remembering the deep courage that Sia brought with her when she was sheltering this innocent baby that grew up to be a great prophet. From a very tyrannical husband. And we've inherited the strength of the prophets. We've risen on the back of their surrender and of their qualities and of their strengths. I'm thinking of Gandhi and other wonderful heroes that we have all around us, examples of strength. And when we really surrender, sometimes God will bring through a beautiful white blue light that wafts through the core of our being. It's like, hold us upright. And when Allah brings that light, we can bow more deeply and surrender more deeply. We can say what's really on our hearts with love. If someone is abusing a child and Allah says, be beloved, go and talk to this person. We can talk to this person from God's light and there will be love. And there will be mercy and forgiveness, which is a deep, deep strength when we forgive ourselves, especially when we forgive each other. And who is the forgiver? Allah is the forgiver. And Allah is the healer. Ya Allah, Ya Shafi. I know I don't have much time left, but I have a reading and I'm going to get it. I just wonder if anybody would like to open for discussion while after I read my two quotes. So, okay, so I guess I'll just read these two quotes and then see if there's time for discussion.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one quote about strength is great. It's by Lao I don't know how to say his last name, TZU, Tizu. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. I just thought that was so beautiful. And then there is an Islam quote by Sahih al-Bukhari. The strong person is not the good wrestler. Rather, the strong person is the one who controls himself when he is angry. There is in the book The Open Secret by Rumi, is called The Question. One dervish to another, what was your vision of God's presence? I haven't seen anything. But for the sake of conversation, I'll tell you a story. God's presence is there in front of me, a fire on the left, a lovely stream on the right. One group walks towards the fire, into the fire, another towards the sweet flowering water. No one knows which are blessed and which not. Whoever walks into the fire appears suddenly in the stream. A head goes under on the water's surface. That head pokes out of the fire. Most people guard against going into the fire, and so they end up in it. Those who love the water of pleasure and make it their devotion are cheated with this reversal. The trickery goes further. The voice of the fire tells the truth, saying, I am not the fire. I am fountainhead. Come into me and don't mind the sparks. If you are a friend of God, fire is your water. You should wish to have 100,000 sets of moth wings, so you could burn them away one set a night. The moth sees light and goes into the fire. You should see fire and go towards light. Fire is what of God is world consuming. Water is world protecting. Somehow each gives the appearance of the other. To these eyes you have now what looks like water burns. What looks like fire is a great relief to be inside. You've seen a magician make a bowl of rice, seen a dish full of tiny live worms. Before an assembly with one breath, he made the floor swarm with scorpions that weren't there. How much more amazing God's tricks. Generation after generation lies down defeated. They think, but they're like a woman underneath a man circling him. One molecule mode second, thinking of God's reversal of comfort and pain, is better than any attending ritual. That splinter of intelligence and substance, the fire and water themselves, accidental, done with mirrors. So taking that in and knowing that wherever we are collapsed, it's such an opportunity for us to go towards the light. And to know that in the deepest level, in the deepest place, we're all in the light together. In the deepest place, every single one of us is one. We're looking out at each other, our brothers and sisters. And so have mercy when we bring the fire to each other and open to the true nature of strength. God's strength, which is love and mercy and peace and forgiveness. Okay. Thank you so much, Abdullah. I'm not sure what time it is.
We're a few minutes past the top of the hour.
Okay. Okay. So do we have time for comments?
Sure. Yeah. Let's see if anybody wants to make a comment or ask a question. If you do, just unmute yourself. Unmute your microphone, or if you're on a phone, hit *6. There's a question in the chat box. Rifqa Sabira asks, was there a specific process to clear and move into strength?
Oh, so it depends on, that's a great question. And I think there are a few of many processes to move into strength. What I like to do is really work with people individually and help them to walk more deeply into that place. And I think that when we think about the sort of the manifestation of the qualities, it's really great sometimes to sit with Allah and to open our hearts and to start to do the tauba, to just begin to go deeper into the layers of our hearts. And once we do tauba and some remembrance, returning everything to Allah and going into that space inside, um, really inviting that space to come right up into your metaphorical dinner table with compassion and mercy. Um, bring that space alive inside, and then know that Allah is in that space, and then open and dive into that space with the quality of um, of Wadud, and the quality of Aziz and Kawi and Mutakadir. Really, we have the answers in terms of what quality we need in that space first. And so, in feeling into our hearts, it could even be just to start with Wakil and to set the intention, okay, Allah, I need strength in my belly. And I'm bringing that to my metaphorical dinner table. And I'm scared and I need trust. And the trust will help open the door to the strength. And then as we go through whatever, we may feel nothing, or we may see images or pictures that need to be clear. And as we go through there, it's great to relax and to receive and to open and expand and just let it be exactly as it is for you, for each of us. And to breathe into it. And that alone will start the process moving forward. And then at some point, once we start to kind of rotor-rooter our way in there, once we start to open the windows and the doors of this place, letting the light in, and then we can start to work through the images and then beautify with the qualities of Aziz and Kawi, and that are built on, sort of piggyback on a lot of those other qualities that can come first. And we can even use them interchangeably. Sometimes I do that. Start with Aziz for a little while, and I go into Wadud or Ghaffar. Everything is so interconnected. But as we do this, I like to lay my hand on my heart and my hand on my belly. There are nerve endings there that come to the surface of the skin, and it's really nice holding. Or to even drink some warm tea before the exercise, and to kind of establish ourselves with our intention of turning our hearts to Allah, to be breathing in and out, to be opening that connection, allowing that light to flow through, inviting everything to our dinner table, and then diving in. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you. With that, I think we'll end the teaching for today. Thank you, Rifqa, for a wonderful, beautiful teaching.
Thank you.